Welcome all to the Ring Weekly Catch-Up. Just in case you can't tell us apart, this is Jack Morris, I'm Berth. Wearing the same t-shirt, not always easy. Jack, a lot to be talked about, so much in fact, we've made a list of it, but first things first. Nathan Cleverly, Tony Bellew. Pay-per-view? Pay-per-view? It's a British title fight, isn't it? Fundamentally. Talk to me.
It's a great fight, but yeah, it's
Can I just say
British title.
Pay-per-view?
Yeah, no. Let me finish.
I'm sorry, but I can't believe it.
It's definitely not pay-per-view, in my opinion. Will I buy it? I probably won't this time, just purely out of the fact that I think it's a disgrace that they've made this fight pay-per-view.
Well, if you're suggesting that you would buy it in future, then we've got a problem. And everybody out there that's a boxing fan who supports Sky, you better get ready to start paying for everything. Because if they get this one passed and they do good numbers on it, it's not like they're not going to do it again.
No, it's a real shame.
This is ridiculous beyond belief. I pay my Sky subscription, yeah? I get Box Nation as well, which I really enjoy. I love Box Nation. I'm not paying to see Nathan Cleverly box Tony Bellew after they've both been spanked to bits in light heavyweight fights, which tells me, which I was saying to you before, they're trying to invent this thing. It's like the World Championship of England. Who cares? It's a British title fight. It's nothing to me. What European British title fight? We'll start pay-per-view in that. Is that a pay-per-view? I can't believe it. I think it's an embarrassment. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, I mean they're going to see whether with the sales figures. I mean I can't believe that Eddie Hearn being a man of the people.
Let me tell you something about pay-per-view events. I remember when Peter McNeely, right, because this pay-per-view thing's getting out of hand. Peter McNeely fought a comeback in Mike Tyson. I sat in a cinema, right, till 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, right, to see Peter McNeely get knocked out in about 30 seconds flat, walked out thinking I got my money's worth. That's star quality, that's a pay-per-view event. If Bellew Cleverly is on the TV on a Saturday night, right, and a mate phones me up and he goes, come out for a beer, and I go, I'll go out for a beer, I want to come back and watch this fight because it's free, and I forget about it, and then come back after the fight's over, do you know how upset I'll be? I'll be like, oh, I'll see you tomorrow. Can't really be that, I'm not that bothered. You know what I mean? I'm a boxing guy. But the point I'm making is, pay-per-view, Mike Tyson, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, I get that. Think of all them names and I'm going to add two more. Nathan Cleverly, Tony Bellew. It just don't fit. I think it's a joke. Let's not talk any more about it. I'm getting upset, I'm getting angry.
I haven't been able to talk about it, you've been interrupting
because
me.
I'm so mad.
Right, let's
talk
cut
about the
on.
weekend's fights. What do you think about them all?
Josh Warrington looks an exciting prospect. I thought he was, looking at him, I thought there was something there. This weekend he definitely proved it. I think they taught him up to be like the next Ricky Hatton, well, Matchroom Stabler. So should be all good.
We're filming here, John. Yeah, that's John, our cleaner. He's a lovely man. Good night, John. Thanks, man. All right.
Yeah, so he's looking like he could go on to do good things. I mean, European champion, I think 4th round TKO. So yeah, he did really well.
The Tyrone Nurse fight.
Yeah, fight of the night. Two guys with big balls. I mean, they really sort of hammered each other for the full 12.
The idea of two boys with big balls hammering each other for 12 rounds. You could have used different wordage.
Well, they weren't hammering each other with their balls. They were just.
Well, okay. But yeah, all joking aside, you loved that fight, didn't you?
It was a good fight. I thought it would be a good fight, but it outdone the expectations. And I think credit to both of them because they were classy all the way through it, both in victory and defeat. So
no, fair play. I've got some notes on the side because I didn't want to forget this. Before we start talking about the fights come up at the weekend, again another weird aside. Jermaine Taylor, has he gone completely crackers? If you get a chance, go on YouTube and watch what Jermaine Taylor's been making. It's a former middleweight champion, chap who beat Bernard Hopkins, got knocked out by Kelly Pavlik and suffered some pretty bad knockouts after that with Arthur Abraham. That's a terrible one. He had brain bleed, awful. He's gone mad.
Yeah, he seems to have lost the plot. I mean, you know, just saying disgraceful things like I'll never lose to a white boy. You know, if a white guy said
Do you know?
that,
Do you know something? I've got to tell you the honest truth. That sort of stuff don't bother me.
no, but it bothers me in the fact of if I've got a friend and he's black and he's fighting a white guy, I'm going to support my friend who may be black. With this, it's like with Jermaine Taylor, what he's basically saying is that he's anti-white, and
maybe,
it's kind of like I don't think it's
but-
very fair that if you swivel it, okay, imagine one of our ex-world champions or current world champions says something like that. Mark my words, there'd be uproar. And I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, but I'll tell you the honest truth, there wouldn't be uproar with me if a white guy, if a black guy said that about a white guy, if I'm being honest. And the reason I'm saying that is because I couldn't give a stuff. It's boxing, people say lots of different things, don't they? If a white guy said it about a black guy, I think in this day and age, even in this day and age, I think black people are confident enough that they wouldn't be that bothered, would they?
Yeah, but it's the point of, you know, as a boxer, it should be, I'm not going to lose to any guy. It don't matter. Skin shouldn't come into it.
Yeah, but it does,
You know,
doesn't it? I mean, you've seen that before. It does come into it.
Yeah, I've
to
seen
an
it
extent.
before, but what I'm saying is that, you know, you can't have it
It
both ways.
makes it, let's be honest about it. Let's cut to the chase. It can make it a bit spicier. I'm not saying it's a particularly nice thing, but with boxing, they'll market anything. They'll market anything, and if it's black-white, they'll market that. And even if they do it a little bit surreptitiously, so you don't, it's still marketed. I mean, it gets nasty when it was like your Larry Holmes, Jerry Cooney. That's when it gets nasty. But I think in boxing, it's like professional sports. If I'm being honest, anything goes. If you can wind the opponent up or do, but this isn't that situation, is it? He's just being crackers.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I'll rest my case, yeah.
Yeah, but the point I'm saying, should he be allowed to fight? He's shot his cousin, right? So you obviously don't like black men. It's that much either. He shot his cousin. He ain't going to lose to a white lad. It sounds like Jermaine don't like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Should he be allowed to fight? Is he in a mental state to be fighting for a world title?
No,
Of course
definitely
he's not, and that's what's wrong with it, isn't it? You know what I mean? And he's obviously telling you, really fundamentally, he's telling you by making these silly films. And someone who's in a bit of power should turn around and say, "I don't think we'll have this. This is going to bring some back." If that kid gets hurt at the weekend, you watch the fallout from that.
Who's sanctioning the fight? Is it the Malta Boxing Commission, by any chance?
Well, he's punchy tonight. So our man Fat Nige got a phone call this week from the Maltese Boxing Commission offering him a title fight against George Hilliard, who is a very good pro, but I don't know where they got their information from, because we got a phone call directed towards Fat Nige asking if he'd take the bout.
For a world title?
For a world title. Fortunately for George Hilliard, he said no.
You can't make the weight.
Superb. And that seems like a rather apt time to cut away. And let's get a nutrition tip, and hopefully Captain Hilliard will be watching this. Let's get a nutrition tip from a man who could have been your opponent. It's Fat Nige.
Glorious food. What will we live for? That extra bit more. That's all that we live for. Why should
Hello, I'm Fat Nige. I get asked about consuming carbs late at night. And if I do, will it increase my body fat even if it doesn't surpass my daily carb intake? It's a commonly held belief that carbs, not consumed and not used, turn into fat. The fact is that the conversion of carbohydrates to fat does not occur to any significant degree in people. The carbs I'm talking about are ones that we've referred to on previous tips, the good carbs. The good carbs I'm talking about are the things like brown rice and wild rice with their slow release energies, good fibrous fresh vegetables with low sugar values, all of these adding into the mix, helping to keep our insulin stable and prevent those insulin spikes. So it's a mistake to believe that just by curtailing our carb intake at night that we'll achieve weight loss. They must be the right carbs. We've got to know what we're playing with. The reason weight loss happens and is most likely to occur is due to an overall reduction in our calorific intake, and that includes our good carbs. So long as we stay within the bounds of this intake, we needn't worry about our good carbs turning into fat. I've been Fat Nige.
Fat Nige. You've got a nutrition tip from Fat Nige. Fat Nige, fighting fit. And I've got to say something, all joking aside, if you ever get a chance and you come down to meet Fat Nige down at the gym, Nige was a former white-collar boxer. If you ever get a chance, watch him box, sensational. Absolutely, got fight of the year. No joke, brilliant. A lot of action at the weekend, down at the O2 and internationally. John Ryder is fighting a chap, last-minute replacement. Theophilus Tete over 12 threes. I mean, predictable or what? I don't know anything about the other kid.
No, I don't. I think obviously being a last-minute replacement, I don't think it's going to be anything too risky. I think they're looking for bigger things for John Ryder.
I was going to say, what do you think they're doing with him?
I think that he's not too far off Billy Joe Saunders. If you watch the last fight, I don't think he's too far capability-wise. I think he's quite similar. So I can't see no reason why they wouldn't push him through the European and push him onto a world title.
Okay, cool. We've got the heavyweight fight, Anthony Joshua. He's fighting Denis Bartov. Not a bad record. This looks like a step up.
Yeah, you got to say with Joshua, you got to remember he's only had 8 fights, and I've been one to say I'd like to see the step up, and I think that this guy's record, you can't really argue with it. I mean, what's he got? He's 38 fights, 25 knockouts, 9 losses.
Yeah, it's nicely bang a bit.
So it should be an interesting fight. So fair
I
play.
mean, they're just beginning to chuck out the David Haye 2015 Anthony Joshua thing. Do you know something? I could see him beating him, and all. I could see Joshua beating David Haye. He seems to be in a bit of a funny place, David Haye, to me right now. You see these pictures of him in Vegas. He looks a little bit 6 and 2 threes.
I think David Haye's next couple of fights, if he does fight at all, will be the telling sign. I think at the moment, if they were both, I think Haye would have too much for him.
Yeah, right now. But talk about this fight 12 months, 18 months down the road. Completely different fight. I like Joshua. I think he looks like proper world class. He looks like the sort of kid who will become proper.
You got to remember
world class.
Haye's fast, and he's never dealt with anyone who's as fast and as powerful as Haye. You can't forget that.
Yeah, but this kid's super life, and that's the thing about it. The thing I like about Joshua is because you see a lot of big heavyweights now. They're very big, they're very powerful, and it's all about getting the power home. There's not a lot of culture. But when I look at Joshua, I see a tremendous athlete, which is what David Haye is as well. So, if you were to, he's obviously got to take a couple of fights, David Haye, to get his feet back under the table because he's been out of the loop quite a while. But even so, it's, this other kid, I think, is going to have an astronomical ascendancy over the next 18 months. Hopefully, nothing terrible happens.
Well, yeah, he's still got one of them chin checks yet, hasn't he? He's not been in with anyone the same height or nearly as tall as him. That he's been caught clean with a proper heavyweight shot. So everything else, we know he's a great athlete. We know he hits hard. We know he's going to be a fantastic boxer. The only question is whether he's going to be able to gut it out in the trenches and whether he's got a chin. But
yeah, that was the big thing. Thinking back to Pricey, everyone was so totally convinced. Frankly, he was the real thing. And now you could never look at him, I don't think, in the same way, could you?
I think, hopefully he can get back to where he was, but them 2 losses have taken away, the life out of him.
Confidence-wise, it must have been an absolute brutal thing.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how Joshua goes on. And like I said, I do like him. He really conducts himself well. There's a bit of Lennox Lewis about him with a bit more humour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis always used to conduct himself supremely well, and this lad is just brilliant. I think really excited to see him do well. Getting to the fights, the international fights at the weekend. Going to cut back a little bit. It was off, it was on, it was off, it was back on again. So it is back on again. Chris Eubank Jr., Billy Joe Saunders. Just a quick comment about that, now it's back on.
Yeah, basically we said it all in last week's show. I've heard saying today that the money that Chris Eubank Jr. is getting.
Is this true? He's getting 150.
It's
gone up.
It's close to quarter of a million.
No way.
So
Is that if that's a fact? That's unbelievable.
that's what's leaking through.
Wow, that's big.
So it's I
And so you reckon that's why Chris Eubank Senior thought, well, I'll hold out a little bit longer. I'll nick another 50, 75 out of it.
I reckon so. Yeah, why wouldn't you? If you really think about it, it's like, it's a crafty one done by them, isn't it?
Yeah.
They printed the posters, and they basically said, "Hang on a minute, we're not."
Yeah, calm yourself down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
if that is the case and he comes away with a win, that is an absolutely, to be honest with you, it's a brilliant bit of management. Anyway, you look at it, isn't it? You're going to get paid. The only thing is if he gets wiped out. If he gets wiped out, then there's problems.
Yeah.
But outside that, if he puts something in, if I was him, I'd just go out there and I'd go hell for leather. I'd really put it on.
Yeah. I think that's the only way he's going to go. Yeah. That's the only chance he's got. I don't think he can outbox him.
Well, theoretically wouldn't be, if he was going to outbox him, it wouldn't be late anyway, so he's still got to go for it
Exactly.
anyway.
No, yeah, that's what he's got to do.
Yeah, so that's interesting. What else we got going on here? Tyler Goodjohn is boxing. Who we got going on here?
He's boxing Ricky Boylan.
Ricky Boylan.
Yeah.
Well, I've not seen Ricky Boylan. You'll have to tell me. Was he good?
Yeah, he's good enough. I think he sells a lot of tickets. Again,
is he really good, or does he sell a lot of tickets, or is he both?
I didn't say he's really good.
So I thought you said he was really good.
I didn't say he's really good.
I'm sorry.
He's good.
He's good.
He sells a lot of tickets.
Yeah. The point I'm trying to get to is he getting on because he sells a lot of tickets, or is he the real McCoy?
I think because he sells a lot of tickets.
Right.
The only
That's what I'm trying to get to.
but confidence thing being picked up by Matchroom, that could all change. He could turn into be a good boxer. I'm just saying what I've seen. I've seen fighters at the Coronet or the Camden or here box that are on par with him. He's fighting Tyler Goodjohn, which again I said last week that the Nurse Ryan fight would be good. I'm picking this one to be equally as good. I think Tyler Goodjohn is a fighter that kind of that doesn't back down. He
That's
pushes all the way.
what we want to see, well-matched bouts.
Yeah, and these two are well matched. If I'd sway more towards Boylan, but I wouldn't be surprised if Goodjohn takes a close decision.
Okay, so just going to the international fight at the weekend then. Solomon, who's obviously had his issues with, was it steroids? Was it a steroid issue that Solomon had?
I'm not too sure.
I thought wasn't there a drug issue there somewhere? I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I thought there was a drug issue with him previously. And again, Jermaine Taylor. I mean, the worst thing that could happen this weekend is if Jermaine Taylor wins.
Yeah.
You've got, he's back in with some very big, dangerous fish. And he could win it, couldn't he? He could win it.
He's got. He's got skills. And he.
Of course he has. Yeah, he's got to be faster than the other kid even now. I think.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's a big ask. He's been out for quite some time.
Yeah.
And like you say, his head doesn't seem to be totally right. So.
Yeah, no, it's actually all joking aside. I know we've had a bit of a laugh about it, but when you watch the films, and you think he's had this issue with shooting somebody because he's got to go up in court for that as well. It's a bit disturbing, really.
Yeah.
It shouldn't really be anywhere near professional boxing at any level, let alone that level.
No, too much going on at the
Far too
same
much
time.
going on, absolutely. Okay then, we're going to cut away there and we're going to go to competition, and you and us both know her as the Eastern Bloc Bimbo.
Hello everybody, I'm from the Eastern Bloc. This week's competition winner will win this classic ring t-shirt. It's got official ring logo on the back. It looks great on, but you're naughty man. It looks even better off. See you next week.
Fantastic. Okay, to answer this question that Jack's going to put forward in a second, we need you to go on to the ring1910.com blog, join it, and answer the question underneath this film. So it'll be the Ring Weekly Catch-Up 13. Join the blog underneath, post your answer, and if you win, we'll get in contact with you. And the winner will win 2 tickets to come and see the event here at the Ring at the weekend. That's this weekend, Saturday night the 11th. Doors open at 6, bout start at 7. Obviously Jack on. We've got Robin Dupree, Kay Prosper, and having his first bout. Me and Jimmy McLean, really looking forward to seeing that. But let's get to the question. Jack, what is the question?
Who is the common opponent that myself, Frank Buglioni, and Callum Smith have all faced?
One more time.
Who is the common opponent that myself, Callum Smith, and Frank Buglioni have faced?
Tough one. Tough on BoxRec. Have a look on BoxRec. We'll see you next week when we'll have the results. Just going to take the opportunity to wish you the best of luck this Saturday night. How you feeling about it?
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's
On
good-
your
good
march
to be
down
back.
to light heavyweight? And
On
what
my
weight are you going
march
to come into on Saturday? What weight are you coming in at?
Well, the weight's 13.3. If I can dip under it, I will. If I don't, it's not a problem.
And next bout down the road, what are you looking at coming at? You've got to be coming
Probably
12 something, innit?
yeah, 12, 11, 12, 10, around
12,
about
11.
that sort of
So
weight.
you
Yeah,
say
just
then you're
now
in
and-
touching distance.
I
on it
think so,
again,
yeah.
Yeah, well, good luck with that, Jack.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.